everybody, it's Mrs. Reed here again to do elimination day 3. So we're going to do some problems together. I'm going to talk about them and you're going to write them too. And then Mr. Fleury or myself will check them when you come into class. So like I said, sometimes problems when we do elimination, we only have to multiply one equation to eliminate something. But in our first one today, we're going to have to multiply both of the equations. So here's number 1, and it looks like this. 3x plus 2y equals 7. And the second equation is 4x plus 3y equals 9. So as you can see by looking at the equations, I don't have something that I can easily eliminate. What I can do is I can multiply to get rid of the x's, or I can multiply to get rid of the y's. In this case, I've decided that I'm going to multiply and get rid of my x's. I'm going to eliminate the x's. So what I need to do is I need to make, I'm going to multiply the top by -4, which will give us a -12x. So let's do that one out first. So -4 times 3x is -12x. And then I have -4 times 2y, which would give us -8y. And then I have -4 times the 7, which would give us the -28. So like I said, I'm going to get rid of the x's. So what do I need to multiply this whole second equation by to make that into a 12x? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply it by 3. I like to put my parentheses around the equation. I'm going to put a 3 here, and then I'm going to multiply again everything inside of the equation by what's on the outside, and it's going to be a 3. So I have 3 times 4x is 12x. I have 3 times 3y, which is going to give me a 9y. And I also have 3 times 9, which will give me a 27. Okay, so now we're all set, and now we can just add down. So let's do that. I'm going to put my equal sign under here. I can eliminate my x's, and then I can just add down. -8y plus 9y is y. -28 plus 27 is -1. So there we've solved for our y. Now what we need to do is we need to solve for our x. Remember, we need to go back to one of the original equations, so either this one or this one, and substitute that -1 for the y and then solve for the x. So looking at that, I think I'm just going to pick the top one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my 3x plus 2. I'm going to take this -1 over here and put it in there. We're substituting. That's what our y value is, equals 7, which gives us 3x minus 2 equals 7. I'm checking. Did I do something incorrectly? No, let's keep going. Okay, so then what I need to do is I need to add the 2 to each side. And that'll give us 3x equals 9. Divide both sides by 3, and x equals 3. So the values that I have are 3 and -1, my x and my y. And we're going to go back and we're going to check. And again, I'm going to take one of the original equations. Because we used the top one, I'm going to use the bottom one to check to make sure that this is the right answer. So I'm going to switch my color up to green, and we're going to have it look like this. 3 times 3, my x value, plus 2 times -1 equals 7. Actually, I'm using the same one. So then I have 9 minus 2 equals 7. 7 equals 7, and that's checks. Okay? So let's go on and we'll do our next one. Keep with the green for a little bit. And here's our next one. We have 2x plus y equals -6, and I also have 4x plus 2y equals 5. Okay, so this is one of those times that I can look at my two equations and I can see that I have a 2x and a 4x, so I know if I multiply the top by -2, I could get rid of the x's. I have a y, and then I have the 2y underneath it, so I can multiply the top by -2 and get rid of the y's. So what I think I'm going to do is, because the y has nothing in front of it, I'm just going to multiply that whole equation on the top by -2. And I'm multiplying it by the negative number because I want to be able to eliminate my y's. That's the choice that I made. Okay, so now we're going to multiply everything inside the parentheses. Okay, so we have -2 times 2x, which is -4x, -2 times y, which is -2y. I have done something, Mr. Fleury. Hold on, I need technical support. How do I get rid of that? Perfect. Okay. Can make it go bigger? Yeah. All right, so then we'll continue with that. So I've got my -2x times -2, and then I have -2 times y, which is -2y, and then I have -2 times -6, which gives me a 12. On the bottom, I don't need to do anything. I'm just going to move that right on over here, and I will have my 4x plus 2y equals 5. Okay, now we're all set to eliminate. I'm going to make my equal sign. I'm going to eliminate. I'm going to add down -4x plus 4x. I can get rid of that. -2y plus 2y is 0 equals 12 plus 5 is 17. So when you see something like this, 0 does not equal 17, so this is no solution. And sometimes when we do these problems, that's what our answer is, no solution. Because 0 does not equal 17. Okay, let's keep going. Now we're going to do another one. This is number 3. Number 3. I've got 5x plus 3y equals 12, and the other is -15x minus 9y equals -36. Okay, this is one of those two that I can make that decision. What do I want to get rid of? Do I want to get rid of the x's, or do I want to get rid of the y's? And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the y's again. So I have 3y in the first equation on the top and -9y in the second equation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the top by 3, because that way I'll be able to eliminate the y's. And that leaves me with, remember, we're always multiplying everything by what's on the outside. So I'll have 15x plus 9y equals 12 minus see, even teachers make mistakes. Remember how I told you it was important that we were going to multiply everything, and then I didn't multiply the 3 by the 12. So this is actually not 12, it's 36. Okay, so then the bottom, we're just going to move on over, and we're going to have -15x. I'm just taking what's on the bottom and moving it right on over. We'll make our equal sign, and then we'll add down. And in this case, everything cancels out, and I have 0 equals 0. And can you guess what that is? That is infinitely many solutions. Infinitely many solutions is okay? And it's infinitely many because 0 equals 0, just like 1 could equal 1. If they're the same, they're equal to one another. Now, when we go back up, that's infinitely many. When we go back up here, and it's not true, 0 equals 17, that's no solution. Okay? So if you have a question about that, this would be a really good time in your notebook to write down a question about why it is infinitely many solutions, or what makes something no solution, or how do you determine which one to eliminate, X or Y. If you have a question, put it in your notebook, and we'll be happy to answer it when we see you next time. Okay, and our last one is going to be a word problem. Okay, I'll do it in purple. "25 children and adults went to a museum. The cost of a children's ticket is $6, and the cost of an adult ticket is $9. Write a system of equations and solve if the total cost was $186. Okay, it's a system of equations, so we're going to be writing 2 equations. Okay, and all the information that we need is right here. So let's highlight the information that's important. So we know that there's 25 children and adults that went. Okay, so let's make the children, we can make the children C, and we can make the adults A. So we could have, we'll do the adults first. We'll have A, adults, plus C, children, equals 25. There were 25 people altogether that went to the museum. So our second equation is going to look like this, and this is the information that we need to put in, okay? So we know that the cost of the child's ticket was $6, and the cost of the adult ticket was $9, and altogether the cost was $186. So we're going to use the information I just underlined in blue to write our next equation. So the adult ticket was 9, so we're going to have 9A plus the child's ticket was 6, 6C equals $186. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to find out how many tickets. Okay? So let's do it like this. We're going to get rid of the children's ticket. We're gonna eliminate the C's first. So what we need to do is and you guys know what we need to do. We need to multiply. Let me change the color again. We need to multiply this top. We're going to multiply it by -6. We're multiplying everything by -6 so we can eliminate the C's. And that's going to give me -6a minus 6c equals -150. Okay? And then we're going to just take the second and we're going to move it right on underneath here like this. We're going to put our equal sign and then we're going to add down. We're going to eliminate these, okay? And we have -6a plus 9a is 3a. We have -150 plus 186 is 36. I'm going to divide both sides by the 3, and I have a is equal to 12. Okay, so I know a is equal to 12. I'm going to go back into that original equation, this one that I wrote in orange because it looks nice and easy, and I'm just going to write it like this. 12 plus c equals 25. I'll get my c on its own. I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. And that leaves me with c is equal to 13. Okay, very good. Is it my turtleneck? No. Okay, guys, we can't wait to see a math class. Elimination's awesome.